So guys, a little bit different today. As you see, we're not in a Subaru, we're in a Honda. This is a 2012 Honda Civic. And local car lot has called us in because we have an airbag warning light on. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 Hondas out here to check out, and we're gonna go through, scan them, and see what we can come up with for them. So as far as our airbag fault goes, we've only got one trouble code. It's an 86-22 faulty OPDS seat support sensor. I think that's occupancy detection sensor. Not exactly sure. Subaru has something very similar to that. I think it's ODS and Subaru occupancy detection sensor. OPDS, I'm not exactly sure of. Good thing with Snap on Scanner, we got the troubleshooter can go through and it can give us the definitions on the acronyms because I'm not familiar with Hondas. All right, we did a full code scan. A lot of codes in there, a lot of communication codes. Hopefully it's not relevant to this, but looks like unfortunately we don't have troubleshooter under airbag for this particular Civic. We do have that 86-22. Might have to resort to the old Google machine for that. All right, quick Google search has come up with that is occupancy detection sensor. It is in the passenger seat here. So either the sensor has broken due to wear. It's like a ribbon cable. I'll put a picture up that goes inside the seat that detects when someone's sitting in the passenger seat to turn on the passenger airbag, or there has been a side collision causing the airbag to deploy and it was never replaced, never set. Now, since the seat is not blown out, the airbag is not blown out, and I've looked at the side of the car here, it doesn't look like there's been any kind of side collision to this vehicle. I doubt that's the issue. I've seen that these fray and break just with age because, again, it is like a ribbon type cable on top of the seat cushion, so multiple times of people getting in and out can fray and break that sensor. Don't really have a way to get in here and check it, so that's pretty much the end of this diagnosis. It's going to be something to do with the occupancy detection sensor in this passenger seat on this particular 2012 Civic. I think we're going to move on now to the next car, which I think is a 2009 Accord. So did a little bit of poking around in here, tried to find some diagrams online. Side impact airbag module is over here. There's a module here. I'm not sure if this is the OPDS, occupancy detection sensor. The pictures I'm seeing online shows it as a ribbon sensor in the padding, either in the back here or the front of the seat. Not exactly sure. Either way, not something I have ability to test at the moment, nor really a way to get at, as I just have my scan tool with me and out here in the dealer lot. So yeah, pretty much got this one knocked out, that something in this passenger seat is going to be the issue, root cause here with that sensor. All right, moving on, we got test subject number 2. It is a 2009 Honda Accord. Let's see what we got going on here. J35V6, code scan activate. All right, so this one's going to be a little more straightforward. We got driver's side airbag, left side curtain airbag, and or driver's seat belt tensioner deployed. This car has been in a collision and not fixed. Front passenger side airbag, side curtain airbag, and or front passenger seat belt tensioner deployed. We've got F311, F411. All right, into our airbag module, system information real quick, if that gives us anything. I think I've already found our problem with a quick visual inspection while I was waiting on that. So I think what we've got is a car that was hit, taken to the auction, and poorly fixed. Just looking up here at the side curtain airbag, pulling this back, we can see part of the airbag. This is loose. I think all of this has been deployed in the past. I think it was cut, tucked back behind the paneling, and stitched up. I'll try to get you some shots of outside the car. Clearly it's been hit pretty hard on the driver's side and the front end. I can see misalignment in the front bumper, poor paint work, poor paint matching on the passenger side. I have not looked at the door jambs yet, but I'm sure there's evidence of the doors coming off, being replaced, paint damage, things of that nature. So yeah, we can see here this side curtain airbag has definitely been deployed and cut. and stuff back in there. Real quickly, just looking in the door jamb here, we can see a rusted fastener on the door hinge. We also see paint marker, as this is a junkyard salvage yard door, and this was hastily repaired. Wasn't even painted, they just found a color matched door and bolted it on. So yeah, this thing was definitely hit very hard. Our side curtain airbag has been deployed. I'm assuming they replaced the driver and passenger seats because the sides are not blown out. The side airbags on these are not deployed on either seat, nor are they torn. Looks like the modules were replaced, at least the driver airbag, which never do this, guys. They're just putting shrapnel on your airbag in the event of a wreck. Passenger side looks fine, but it is a dash module, so they could replace the dash and just not put an airbag module behind the dash. So unsure on that one. Another quick look here, we can see that the seat and load and information sticker was peeled off and put back on. I don't think this is the correct location for this vehicle. We can see a little bit of evidence of primer dust, more primer dust where this was washed after being repaired. There are witness marks on that fender bolt. Just things I've picked up over the years, looking at cars and being able to inspect them to know when they've been hit, when they've been damaged. We also see witness marks here on the driver's seat bolt. So I'm assuming that both front seats were replaced at the time due to airbag deployment in the seats. Here's another classic telltale sign of a poorly done body replacement or body repair. As you can see here, there's a clear tape line, a clear transitional line between the new paint and the old paint where they did not blend it. There's just a hard edge right here where the masking tape was, and you can see that plain as day because there's actually, you know, a difference in the fade and the color of the paint. Even me colorblind, I can see there's a hard edge right here. I can feel the hard edge between the new paint and the old paint on this rocker. Also, if you look carefully, you can see that this rocker wasn't even aligned correctly, as the seat here, the rear seat, the trim is not falling into place as it should. It's in place here, but then it starts pulling in. I think they pulled this a little too far, else this seat plastic wasn't, you know, it was damaged or crumpled, and the side of the seat here is pushed up, as it must have gotten bent or it's not lining up to bolt in. There's a clear crease in the seat, and you can see that it's just not aligned correctly. So this car took quite a wallop. That's why we got an airbag light. We got airbags deployed, destroyed modules. No good. Not a cheap fix to get this car right. Here's some more evidence looking in the rear quarter panel. We can see another sharp line. We can see some body filler here which chunked out. We can see another crack right here where the body filler has cracked. And just looking down the side of this, I can tell this is not factory paint. I can see the primer and tape marks around the gas filler door. And a lot of body filler in this rocker right here. Real quick on the passenger side, we can see how the seat and the trim are supposed to align. This side obviously was not hit. You know, guys, that kind of stuff really ticks me off. This car dealer has been in town for decades. He's an older gentleman. He's been doing this basically all his life. Straight up honest, really good guy. I've bought several cars from him in the past. One of my first vehicles years and years ago I bought from this guy. And for people to do that kind of underhanded crap and take cars that are basically, I mean, that car should be salvaged, and for them to patch it up, dump it at the auto auction, and him to wind up with it, I just feel bad about it. I guess that's part of the thing with South Carolina, not having vehicle safety inspections and stuff like that. That kind of stuff's going to happen, but it's still underhanded, it's shady, and I just hate it for him that he's now stuck with a car like that. So next car on the docket, we've got a 2006 Honda Civic. I'm pretty sure he said it had an airbag light as well. We're going to check it out and see what we can come up with. So 2006 Civic. Let's go ahead and do the full code scan, see what we come up with. Again, really good dude, really honest guy. Known him forever. Like, most all of my life, and just hate to see that he got stuck with a car like that. So no engine codes, no transmission codes, looking pretty clean so far. I think he said he actually repossessed this car from somebody, which another bad thing when you have a small car lot like this and you do dealer financing, you kind of get screwed. All kind of walk of life people come in, take a car and don't pay you and think they don't have to pay you, and just screwing a guy over. So we got a couple of anti-lock brake codes, low voltage codes, but this car probably has a low battery. I don't know how long it's been sitting here. You know, car lot cars a lot of times have dead batteries or dying batteries. Airbag codes, we got two. We got F111 and F211 or E211. Left front airbag and left front seatbelt tensioner deployed. Right front seatbelt tensioner stopped deployment. So let's do an inspection, see if this car has been wrecked, see if this has any evidence of an airbag deployment, a patch job, see what's going on. All right, code scan finished up. We've got the 2 airbag lights. We've got 3 low voltage anti-lock brake codes. So pretty healthy vehicle. I'm assuming that the battery's probably kind of low. Ooh, looky, a snap-on screwdriver in the back seat. So looking at the driver front seat belt, this trim panel was already loose and I just kind of pulled it back a little bit. I don't know if this is going to come through on the video. If I can get it to focus. There is some red Sharpie or paint pen right there on the seat belt assembly. So I think someone has got a used seat belt, put it in here, and this car has been wrecked, but can't 100% sure say that. Gonna check around a little bit more and see any evidence I can find, but definitely looks like there's some paint pen and that was a junkyard or salvage component for this seat belt. So definite front end collision here. We got quite a bit of evidence of body repair. We're missing one of the bolts for the hood on the hinge over there. We got a Pongyang made in Taiwan hood. This is definitely not a Honda original hood. We've got overspray. We've got new aftermarket headlights. We've got broken plastic for the radiator shroud. We've got a misaligned hood stopper or hood bumper. We've got clear damage to the metal here in the front where it was pulled out poorly. Spot welds poorly welded, painted. Aftermarket cooling fans, wiring kind of screwy, overspray paint on the radiator hoses. Batteries not sitting correctly in the battery tray. Just a whole bunch of clear, imprudent front collision, wreck damage. So, as I said, it looks like someone replaced both of our seat belts, or at least the driver's side. It looks like the passenger side's original. So, not sure if it's a programming issue or a module issue on this vehicle. But clearly, yep, depot headlights. Clear indication of a wreck. You see depot or TYC, common cheap crash parts for headlights and tail lights. So yeah, this one clearly see the silver overspray there on the washer jug or coolant reservoir. I'm not exactly sure which it is on this Civic. And silver overspray there on the ABS module. All right, so a little bit of internet research again, as I don't have factory service manuals for Hondas. It said that those particular codes normally mean that the driver's seat pre-tensioner had deployed and that the passenger airbag, even though it did not deploy, needs to be replaced due to a pre-collision event. Now we can clearly see that the driver's airbag did not deploy in that crash, as this is an old, chipped, faded out. You can see where the chrome has faded off of the Honda H. This is the original airbag module for this vehicle. It did not deploy. Now we could see when we looked at the the seat belt, that the seat belt had been replaced with a junkyard module or a used salvage model. But looking at the buckle, I think the buckle has the pre-tensioner mechanism in it. It looks like it was not replaced. And as we can see, it's kind of bent out of shape. So I think this needs to be replaced, and I think we need to replace our passenger airbag module. Now, I looked at the seatbelt module in there, and it looks original. There's no writing on it, no paint pen like the driver's side. Went ahead and cleared the codes just in case, because like I said, it looked like the driver's side had been replaced. But we have a hard fault. Our airbag light is back on. So let's turn this off. Ran it a little while to get the battery up. Let's scan it again really quickly, just looking at airbag, and see what codes come back. If it's both of them, then we know we need to go ahead and replace the buckle F111, E211, front airbag, front right seat tensioner, stop deployment. So looks like passenger airbag module and the driver seat belt and buckle need to be replaced in this vehicle to get that SRS airbag light gone. All right, final vehicle. This one's a 2007 Civic. And looking here from the fade again, we can tell this is an original airbag module. Haven't looked at the car yet to see what's going on. Let's go ahead and code scan it, get that going. Just doing a little look around, looking at the side curtain airbags. Looking here, we might have a deployment, or we might just have some sag or some tearing up of the headliner. Let's see. Passenger side looks okay. So we got a cylinder 4 misfire. We got a PO 420 catalyst efficiency. Cylinder misfire on number 4 again. Let's see what else we got going on. All right, so airbag code, we've got a 62-10 open right front seat belt buckle switch. Real quick, looking at the buckle on the driver's side of this one, see how it looks nice and straight compared to the one in that 2006 that was all crinkled up and deformed. So our right front will be our passenger side. Got to open it in our buckle here. So got a couple of other issues we're not here to look at. So what was that code again? 62-10. See what we can figure out on that. All right, so fairly simple on this one. As we see here, front left seat buckle switch unbuckled. Buckle the seat belt and buckle, unbuckle, buckled. Right front seat belt buckle switch has an open. So likely we've got a broken wire or something is bad in that detection mechanism for the buckle. So we need a new buckle, or we need to check our wiring. To do so, we need to remove the seat. Unfortunately, I don't have any tools for me to do so. So I went ahead to try and look under the passenger seat, see if anything looked obvious. And we got some wires just chilling under here. Not exactly sure what they go to or why they're in here. So let's see if we can do some more poking around and figure it out. It would be nice if I had some tools with me where I could remove this seat and look easier under there. So I don't have a wiring diagram. I'm gonna try to look one up online, but this might be our problem here. 3 wires ripped out, going to a harness. They might be our wires for that seatbelt buckle and would explain why we have an open circuit. So just looked online, Googled a 2007 Civic right side, passenger side buckle, and the connector is a white connector, and it's got a red, green, and black wire coming out of it. So there we go. The wires were ripped out of the passenger seat buckle. It needs a seat buckle. All right, guys, and there you have it. That was just a quick video of checking out cars for potential evidence of crashes, evidence of poor repairs, checking out airbag issues on Hondas. Now, this can be applied to Subarus just the same, not so much as in the diagnostic codes and the issues found, but you can use the same looking at the issues as far as the body damage, looking at evidence of repair, all of those things, looking in door jambs, looking at components, all of that kind of stuff can be applied to any brand, any model. It's the stuff you want to look for evidence of a crash. Now, normally this isn't how I like to work. Normally, I would have some tools with me and do some proper diagnosis by actually testing components, but I don't have access to wiring diagrams nor service manuals for Hondas, and I didn't have anything with me but my scan tool, so kind of at a loss. And the owner of the car lot just wanted a general idea of what might be wrong with each vehicle and if he was even gonna put the money in replacing it and repairing it, or just sell it as is, because it is one of those as is, buy here, pay here kind of car lots. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.